Om Ajnanatimmirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyati Deshitarne Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you very much for ordering me to speak. I am a devotee which, has been in place when Srila Prabhupada left, and everybody was sad those days because Srila Prabhupada had left. Wherever you go, people used to feel the separation, and obviously the disciples feel still the separation. So I happened to be in this temple in 1978, 10th October. So this date is written on my chest. So I never knew it, that this is temple, or this is guest house, and I had no clue to the whole thing. But by the mercy of Lord, I stayed in the same temple continuously from 10th October till April, almost about 6 months, by the mercy of Chitrakar Prabhu, who was the guest house manager at the time, and who allowed me to stay in the temple room B, which happens to be the office of Devkinandan Prabhu now. So I was staying for 6 months. So during these times, there were not so many devotees here, but there were exceptionally fine devotees, very grave devotees, under whose shelter I tried to seek into Krishna consciousness. As I remember Surabhi Prabhu, he is not an ordinary person, and he was not then also an ordinary person. He was blessed as a sannyasi, and I used to see him completely red-faced, as Dinbandhu Prabhu said, he is from Dutch, he is from Amsterdam. His face was very, very bright, and he also used to wear bright clothes. Sometimes, sannyasis prefer to wear light clothes, but his clothes were very bright all the time. And I saw him many times. He used to have morning walks on the auditorium terrace. He used to love to have walks over there. And as Devkinandan Prabhu said, he was very gentle, very nice, and very lovable. And then later on, when I was managing the restaurant, or when I used to go for eating prasadam in the restaurant, because I always preferred to eat prasadam in the restaurant. So at the time, the restaurant thali was for 8 rupees and 12 rupees. What? 8 rupees and 12 rupees. 12 rupees was Bal Gopal thali, and 8 rupees was, some another name was there. So I used to eat every day there in my professional days, because after staying 6 months here, so I shifted to other place. So in the evening, after 7:30, 8 o'clock, I had an opportunity to always serve the sannyasis, because I was a professionally motivated at the time, but I always preferred to have an association. Surabhi Prabhu, Giriraj Swami Maharaj, and occasionally Sridhar Swami Maharaj, I had a privilege to serve them the prasadam, because I used to earn money, and then they used to tell me, what, you're not going to serve us? So I used to have an opportunity to serve the sannyasis in the evening. And that's where I met Surabhi Prabhu. And I didn't know, like he was the architect of this, but later on I came to know that he has constructed this whole place. And architects, as I said, in Vrindavan, I had an opportunity to also glorify Surabhi Maharaj in Vrindavan, because I happened to be there, and the soul friend and other Mataji told me to speak there also. So I said that, the architects, musicians, actors, dancers, they're all very sensitive people. And I found that sensitiveness so nice in Surabhi. He's very calm and quiet, but work-oriented. Speak less, do more. So I had a natural affinity with him in those days. And of course, then I could never see him. But I can only say to all of you on this Remembrance Day that there are some disciples who find a spiritual master, and there are some disciples, the spiritual master finds the disciples. So in Surabhi's case, this was Prabhupada found Surabhi because he wanted to build the temple for the pleasure of their lordships, Shri Shri Radharasa Bihari Ji, and who was going to build. So this is somehow the Prabhupada picked him and made him instrument in his own hands, and that's how he could design, he could pacify those urges of spiritual master, while he was trying to build the temple for Shri Shri Radharasa Bihari Ji. And he found himself nicely placed under the shelter of Srila Prabhupada, and he conceived this. As Premnath Ji said, that he was a very simple person, very hard-working, and wanting to see that how this temple can be built for the pleasure of the Lord, because Prabhupada Ji wanted it. And when any disciple becomes instrument in the hands of a spiritual master, you can accomplish many things. We have heard the stories like Ranganath temple was built. When Ramanujacharya had built the temple, he had engaged all kinds of people to build that whole temple. So the same way, Prabhupada has found Surabhi Prabhu. And later on, when I was serving the restaurant in 81, 82, so he used to always come and like to sit on the round table. I don't know whether you all remember, we used to have a round table, which is now in the new restaurant. The same table was under the chandelier, and all the important people used to come and sit there, and they used to serve there. So Surabhi Prabhu, and he was then also sannyasi, I remember, and then I used to serve him there. And he used to always adore the walls, because that was a Jaipuri style. In the old restaurant, we had a Jaipuri style and the nice curtains and this and that and everything. He used to always love there and eat prasadam there. So in my personal dealings, I was very, very comfortable, because very humble. He had no egos trips, and he was as if so freshly joined the movement. So we can see that such wonderful people have worked in this project, that now it has become a study center for all the architects. There are so many architectural schools in Bombay, and so many people from architectural schools, they are given now assignments. I don't know which year they get an assignment. So they come to study this temple, and on the basis of the thesis of this temple, they get marks there. So in my many years of stay here, I've seen so many groups have come and studied this temple very, very nicely. 30 years, and so many schools and so many architectural schools, they come, and this has become a study center for so many people. And this center is not an ordinary center. I remember when there were no 125 centers in India, we used to always show the pictures of this center everywhere. And all the people, wherever they opened the temples, they used to show the pictures of this temple, restaurant, auditorium, temple hall, all these things. And that's how... So it is still a landmark. It is still a study center for all of us who want to learn from this place how Srila Prabhupada built this center. And those stalwarts who have contributed in this, living legends, I always personally, have so much of respect from those devotees who have dedicated and their lives to Prabhupada in building this wonderful center. And especially Premnath ji, I don't know, since many years, almost about 35 years, I am seeing him. I have a natural love and inclination for him because he's so matured and so serene in doing something for the pleasure of the Lord, because I'm, sort of interacting with him for many years for Khargar project. So always, he's a school in himself to learn so many things. And what to speak of those Srila Prabhupada disciples who had personal association and personal chastisements for such disciples. You have to only be meek and humble in front of them so that you can retrieve the transcendental knowledge which can open the doors for you to the spiritual sky. And if we don't do that, we will be failing in understanding the purpose of our life. As I said, that he left and this planet, but see how he left. That matters the most. Sometimes we may say that a person has become a sannyasi to grihastha or all those things, materialistic thoughts may creep in. But see how spiritual master called him back to Vrindavan, and he left the body in Vrindavan. And that is the perfection of a disciple. That is the perfection of a disciple. When you're completely playing in the hands of your spiritual master, sometimes arrogantly, sometimes softly, but if you remain in the hands of your spiritual master, you will go back home, back to Godhead. And this example is a befitting example for all of us, that come what may be, as Devkinandan Prabhu said, that if you have taken Radharas's halwa puri, so Krishna usko kas kas ke lete. वो छोड़ेंगे नहीं आपको. आप भले ही चोरी से करके ले लो या मांग के ले लो या सेवा करके ले लो, मगर वो छोड़ेंगे नहीं आपको. कस कस के आपके हर बूंद ले लेंगे, because he knows how to balance our life and spiritual master knows how to balance our life. With these words, I would like to thank you for giving me opportunity, and thank you. Thank you.